Hello and welcome to Conker Computer episode 5. Today I'm going to be telling you about graphics primitives and how fast they are and what you can do with them using Conker. Now everything in this video will be basically built into Conker, and the way to open them will be to click web load, file web load, and for the first thing we're going to type in here speed test dot cnk, and then we're going to put it in the speed test folder, which is our folder name here. Okay, and then once you've done that, what you should have is speed test will appear in your files. You just click file, open, and then we have speed test, and you click that, and then you can open it. And then if we click Control R to run it, and we make this 500, make sure it's on circles, then click 50, epilepsy warning here. But you can see here that, yeah, we have our circles which are running on the screen at 60 frames per second, which is because of the hardware acceleration in Conker. Alright, now I'm going to show you the primitive folder, which is where most of the things will be based on in this video. So if I go over here and then I call this primitive, it should then load up into our files, and we can just click open primitive.cnk. Open that, and then we have that. So the main function here only runs once, so we have the background color here with canvas, the canvas command here. We also define the variables here that we want to access everywhere. So you can see here the num variables here are variables. And now I'm going to explain the coordinate variables for our graphics. So, the screen coordinates vary between every Android device. 0, 0 is on the top left. Screen W, 0 is the top right. Screen W, screen H is the bottom right, and 0, screen H is the bottom left, and mid X, mid Y is the center of the screen. We'll see these being used later on towards the video. Okay, now I'm going to show you the draw function, which will be down here, I think, yeah. So this is called once per frame, and it will basically draw what we want it to. And the stroke width sets the pen width, and as you can see here, we've got it set to 30. So it'll be a 30 thickness, and that's like around the size of your average caps text here. Next, I'm going to tell you about all the primitives and other things. So the plot command has two coordinates to see where we should plot a point on the screen. The paint command here paints your object underneath it, the color that you ask. In this case it's brown, and you can pick any color you want from the color names in our manual here. Any of these, there's loads. Anyways, now I'm going to tell you about line, which has 4 points of the line, the 4 corners, and then we have the rectangle, which has left, top, right, bottom coordinates, which will be Rx, Ry, Rx2, Y2. Then we have our rounded rectangle, which is left, top, right, bottom again, but this time it has radius X and radius Y, which is the rounded corners of the rectangle. Next we have our oval, which is again left, top, right, bottom for the coordinates. Then we have our polygon here, which is xy, x2, y2, x3, y3, etc., which means it can be an infinite number of pairs. Next we have our arc, which is left, top, right, bottom again, and then we have our starting angle, our sweep angle, and true or false whether we should make a slice in it. You'll see how that works more later. Finally we have our circle, which is just 2 coordinates, and our radius for the circle, which in this case is 400. Next, as you can see here, f is our frame number. f%300 here means that remainder after division 300. So once every 300 frames we move to random new coordinates. But every frame we shift by a pixel or two in different directions, 1 per frame. Now we're going to, let's say, play with the different shapes. So first I'll show you the program default as it is. So as you can see here, we have our circle, our line, our oval, our rounded rectangle, and our arc, and the other shapes here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to change the arc so that make slice here is true. And if you look at the arc, it will change now, because you can now see it looks more of like a blade arc shape rather than just your like normal straight arc. And then we're gonna do stroke cap, which is back up here, and stroke join. We're gonna uncomment these out, or stroke cap, we're gonna uncomment stroke cap out. And what that'll do is it will make them basically be like rounded. More specifically, the line will be rounded off, and the I believe the rectangle, well, I mean the dot that flies across the screen will be a circle, not a square this time. Okay, now we're gonna change. You see the style fill. We're gonna uncomment that out. What that'll do is it says what it does really. It fills the shapes with their color. So now each shape is filled, which is pretty cool. Then we have my personal favorite, the L gradient. And what this does is it gives the shape a gradient, and you can have mirror, clamp, or repeat, which you can't see, but it's just here. It'll say repeat. So first let's see the mirror. And what this does is it has one side, then green in the middle, then blue on the other side. It mirrors to the other side as the gradient with all the shapes still. And this overrides the fill color. That does. Then if we change mirror over here, and we change that to clamp, here we have, this time it will be blue over here, and then it will slowly go into green until it's fully green on that side. Then finally we have repeat, and what this will do is it will constantly repeat the shape, and we can mess with this one a bit by changing the number below, but we're not going to do that. You can do that yourself, obviously. And from 0 to 0 to mid-X 0, and then from green to blue. That's how the mirror, clamp, and repeat work. Anyways, thank you for watching episode 5. We hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. Bye! Another thing I'd like to mention is the call command. The call command sets the RGB colors or values, which is a pretty neat trick that you can use. Then there are these commands that I'd like for you to use at some point if you wish. There's stroke join, stroke dash, R gradient, S gradient, reset, and anti-alias. And those commands are really useful, and you can try them out in this primitives program yourself. Thanks.